there. Thanks for joining me today. I have a bit of work to do on the Refined Edith, and then I have to sew the signatures for my grungy Edith, my plein air Edith. So let's get started. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I did end up finishing punching the holes along the edge here, and I went with a really nice sort of a dusty hunter green. I'll lift it up so you can see. I don't know if the camera will pick up the true green. I actually don't know if I'm seeing the true green. When I hear about how cataracts can distort your color perception, my brother said that he didn't realize that his whole world was sort of covered in a brown haze until he had surgery. So who knows? Who knows? To me, it looks like a sort of a dusty hunter green, not a bold hunter green, dusty one. Anyhow, I got that done, and I added that sweet little drawing there, and this is actually a little uptuck. So I don't know if I'll make a special Edith bookmark or what may end up going up there. I don't feel like that's the place for a Two Nanas. They shouldn't be front and center in an Edith book. So this page I had to do a little doctoring on. I will, because I did something that I kept telling myself in my head, don't do it, Catherine, be careful, don't do it, don't do it. As you know, I was using my Crop-Dial to put these holes all along here. And I did that, I forget which journal it was now, and chopped holes in several of the pages behind the page I intended to just chomp the holes in. So I thought, oh, I'm being so good, and I was checking this one and checking this one and checking this one, and little did I know this one back here, because of course you squeeze and they both punch holes at the same time. And this side of this page, it was actually a full page. Guess what I did? I chomped holes all along down this page. I did it to myself again. Only it wasn't the side I was keeping an eye on. So now I know I need to keep an eye on both of them when I'm doing this. But it all worked out. I Frankensteined some ledger paper onto it and then used a dainty little washi tape. It needed something there to explain why there was this different paper there. But I do like it. I think it's pretty. And it worked out okay. I did take a picture of the carnage that was on this poor page. And I'll post on the before and after over on Instagram if you want to see what I did to it and now what it looks like. But this morning I would like to put the end papers in, and so let's do it. Yesterday I got the back one ready, trimmed and ready, and I realized because I trim one side, I couldn't remember what color distress ink I used. And so I just took I crossed my fingers and hoped for the best and went with walnut stain, and I'm okay. I'm okay with how it turned out. And I did take some time to pull back a bit more on this edge. It didn't want to. Of all the things that decided to be really good quality about this book, the glue for the end papers decided it was going to hang on for the long haul. And so, you know what? We do what we can. So let's put this in. And I always use 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac for end papers. I want them to hold really, really well. And Fabri-Tac as well. I will use that, but I seldom find it less expensive than 3-in-1. 3-in-1 is usually a couple dollars less, and I don't know why. And I know I say it every single time. And you know what? Too bad, I'm going to say it again. I can't tell the difference. I'd like to interview the president of Beacon and say, all right, what's the difference between 3-in-1 and Fabri-Tac? Because I can't tell. There we go. Okay. Oh, I need my end paper holder downers. Is that a term? They're actually chip clips, but they're really my favorite for holding down end papers, especially on old books, because I used to have to pad my other ones. Like sometimes I would use these and I'd have to pad them with wads of fabric so that these bars wouldn't leave dents on an old cover. And then I discovered these at Dollarama. They're chip clips, chip bag clips. And the insides are rounded so they don't leave dents. They're lovely. And I just give them a little clip for a few minutes and they do the trick. And hold it in place. I find the corners, of course, are your most important. So I don't worry about that too much. Just give it a little press with my hands and the, of course, very professional motion of swirling in the center. That's important. So I have some inking to do. I have my little tag. I've been playing with it again. I was happy in the Edwardian Lady, the book, to see that Edith switched up her signature many times over the years. Artists seem to be all over the place with their signatures. I guess depending on the stage of their life and reinventing themselves and changing up their style of their artwork. And so I was happy to see that Edith would change hers as well. So I changed my little tag so that I still have room over here to do my CABC, but then it just says my Catherine Brown Clark and then the year. So that's 2023. And let's give it a little ink because it'll go on to the back page. Or pardon me, the back of the cover. Of course, I've had Gordon Lightfoot in my head all morning. And that's not unusual on a normal day, but he passed away on Monday, apparently. So, for my family, it's I don't know, it's I guess bittersweet. It's similar. The feeling I feel in hearing that Gordon Lightfoot passed away is the feeling I feel when a loved one goes before their pet goes, and the family is left with their pet. Like my in-laws both passed away before their little pug Riley, and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law took beautiful care of Riley after they left, and I'm sure they bought him many more years because they fed him well and walked him, and he lost his hearing and lost his vision and had lived out his old age. There we go. And my brother, who passed away too young, he was 52, he had a bird, Gus. And, Gus lived on after Mark left us. So that was, it's a little bittersweet when it was Gus's time to go be with Mark again. So, and my brother Mark loved Gordon Lightfoot. I mean, our whole family did. We were raised on Gordon Lightfoot. We're Canadian. I don't think you can be Canadian and not be raised on Gordon Lightfoot. So, and as I said on Instagram, there's not a day goes by in my studio here that he doesn't show up in a playlist of my music playlists. He's in several of them for different reasons. And I even have a playlist that's just all him. So that one's just been on replay, shuffle and replay all morning. And it's nice. It makes me remember all the times I saw him in concert. I was lucky to see him several times in concert. I keep going to put my recycling into my blue bin under my desk, and my blue bin is out at the end of our driveway today, so I've got to put my recycling somewhere for in the meantime. Gordon Lightfoot had one of those voices that was, especially his young voice, was so pure and clear and true. The only way I can describe it's like a bell when you hear just the ringing of a bell. And not a big gong kind of a bell, but the ringing of a bell. Another voice that I think of when I think of a voice like Gordon Lightfoot's is Art Garfunkel. Just this true, beautiful song, beautiful voice. And so I've been enjoying Gordon, thinking about Gordon, but also thinking about Mark. And it's nice when you can get to that point where, they say a smile comes to your lips before a tear comes to your eye. Very, very, very true. Now this is the front. And the front is where I'm going to put the copyright date here. I'm thinking I want to put come on, brain, come on, find the word, Brad's. So I need to decide what Brad's I want. And I think I just want these oiled bronze. Then I don't even have to glue it, and that would also make it a tiny little tuck spot in the front if it just has brads holding it in place. So, brads it is, decision is made. How's that? So my eye doctor appointment went well. I cried, actually. It went well. I actually felt silly that I cried because I've known 2 people in my lifetime who were legally blind. So with my vision, it felt rather selfish to be that relieved when he said, "Okay, I can help you." And the thought of being able to see better. He was honest. I appreciated his honesty. He said, "Usually I can tell people you're going to have perfect vision and never going to need glasses again." And he said, "I wish I could tell you that." He said, "I can't tell you that." He said, "But what I can tell you is most likely you will still need glasses when I'm done. But your prescription will be very, very mild." And that's just music to my ears. First of all, because I can't imagine life without glasses on my face. That was actually giving me a little bit of anxiety, thinking, what if he can fix my eyes and I don't need glasses? That made me feel uncertain. It's become my norm. I mean, I'm 63 years old, and 61 of those years I've had glasses on my face. Anyhow, on the other hand, I don't want this to sound like a pity party. Please do not think that I'm looking for pity here. I'm just explaining to you my challenges with these eyes of mine, which I am grateful for every single day as an artist. I am grateful for, I'm looking for a ruler over here. I'm grateful for my vision. Anyhow, I do have, in addition to poor vision, I have, 6 and 3/8. So that would be 3 and 3. It would be the center. I'm just looking for approximate. I don't need perfection. Anyhow, in addition to poor vision in general, my lenses are such a strong, I'm in the severe category. My lenses alone, not the frames, but the lenses alone are always at well over $900 just for my lenses. Okay, I'm going to move this up so it's behind it and erase that. You know me with my giving myself my little pencil hints. But in addition to that, I also have, I deal with what's called corneal erosion syndrome. My corneas do not heal quickly because they are too wet. And I have to use medication in my eyes every night at bedtime. Anyhow, look it up if it interests you. So that will play into healing. I'm moving this up so that I can fit the need a clear ruler. That's better. Now I forget what I was saying. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyhow, that will play into the healing, but I also have angle closure glaucoma. I've already had laser surgery for that, but it is coming back. Apparently it can do that, and of course leave it to my eyes to decide that now is the time for my angle closure glaucoma to act up. So he said, until I cannot do your surgery to correct your vision until we get your eye pressure, interior eye pressure down to a safe level. So that's why I can't get my eyes fixed until June 22nd. Well, you get them done one at a time. So he's going to do the worst eye first. And the worst is first. In the meantime, normally drops don't work. Because I said to him, hold on. Because there's two kinds of glaucoma. One kind you can use drops, controls the pressure. The other kind requires laser iridotomy, which they laser holes into your irises. I have 6 holes in one eye and 7 in the other. And I said, hold on, drops. I said, that's for the other glaucoma. And he said, oh, very good, you're right. He said, however, it will temporarily bring the pressure down. He said, it's more important we get your vision corrected. And healed, and then we will send you back in for to get the iridotomy done again. I am going to put some glue on. I don't want those ends to curl up. Where's the bottom? Just a little tiny bit. There we go. So you know what? That's okay. So he sent me home with some drops I have to use at bedtime because they make my eyes really bloodshot. Whoa. And it was a little scary last night how bloodshot my eyes got almost immediately. There you go. But it means I can get my vision fixed. He did say, he said, you may very well, he says, I until I get inside, he says, I may finish up and you may very well only need readers. He said, I can't promise you. He says, I'm estimating you will need glasses still, but prescription will be very mild. I will take very mild compared to my prescription right now. Oh, don't be doing that. No, I did that. You're not listening to me today. It's okay. Actually gives me time to push that back down because I should push those back down. So that's good news, right? That's good news. So it just means in a way, I've got 4 eye surgeries ahead of me. It's fine. Nothing new to me. I've had lots of eye surgery in my days. And it means I'll be able to see all the better to see you with, my dears. So like I said, I cried. I said, is this silly? I said, I feel foolish. There are people can't see it all, and here I am crying that you've told me you can fix my eyes. I consider it fixed. A mild prescription, that's fixed in my eyes. Boy, if you could get my prescription down to half of what it is, I'd be doing the Highland Fling. Oh, got a tickle in my throat. Hold on. There we go. Anyhow, he was very kind. Very nice man. And so the nice thing is I live in a tiny little town east of Toronto. But of all things, it is the hospital. We have the hospital. It's a small hospital. They don't even deliver babies at our hospital. You have to go elsewhere unless you have it there by accident. You don't have a planned baby at our hospital. There's no labor and delivery ward there. But they are the hospital for east of Toronto that does all cataract surgeries. Everyone comes out here. There we go. So I'm excited and happy. And very much looking forward to it. Why did I put that away? We gotta glue this in. We gotta glue this in! And then I get to sew today, but that's pleasant and relaxing. It wasn't always pleasant or relaxing. Let's get that glued around. I always do my circle swirlies first, and then the last thing I do is around the edges, in case it starts drying quickly on me. The most important part, I think, is that the edges adhere. So circle swirlies get done first, and then edges. So when I'm done here with our little visit, I'm going to turn Gordon back on and listen to Gordon for the day. And listen to other people who have recorded his songs. Interestingly enough, I think his biggest hit is not one of my favorites. If You Could Read My Mind is, my goodness, I think every big singer has done a version of that song. He could have retired just on that song. But he just wrote so many tender, sweet songs that, just love. There we go. And you're in. Woohoo! One step closer to doing the fun part. I got ahead of myself there, doing all this, but it sort of gets me excited and looking forward to what I want to do with this book. And make her elegant and pretty, and find a few ways to incorporate some color. I think I will use, I've got this green stamp ink that's very similar to this green, and I think I will use my botanical type stamps and do some stamping as a way to incorporate just a little hint other than just all these beiges and sepia tones. I gotta get a little bit of color in there, and then the new owner can just zhuzh it up the way they want. Oh, there's a little color. Now let's put you in down here, and then we're good to go. I wonder if I should just put it down here. Sometimes they put them there. That leaves the rest of the back page for the new owner. There we go. Beautiful. So I hope you're all doing well. I am doing well. I'm doing very well. Happy girl. Oh, that's already dried. I was thinking it was the front one and that I could still move it a bit. Oh, it'll be all right. It's okay. Yeah, I like that. That looks nice. All right, I need to put, oh, here. See? Little tuck. Little tucky spot. Here we go. That looks nice. And I think we're at 30 minutes. I'm surprised my alarm isn't going off and yelling at me and scaring me. I might put a little strip of lace, a really thin lace, so it doesn't bulk up that hinge right here. And then I'm going to go over to Instagram and post some pictures of the carnage that was this page. And now it's kind of pretty and interesting. I used some somewhere else. This is what I wanted to use, and I measured incorrectly and couldn't put it here. I was going to put it here, and I had enough paper, and then I cut the length wrong, and I thought, well, I don't want to waste that, so I used a bit more of the washi tape, and I put it on that page. Frankensteined it, so it all works out for a reason. Happy with all the Frankensteining in here. All right, I'm going to go and start punching holes in signatures for this old girl. I think before I do that, I'm going to have to decide if or where. I think I've decided, yes, that I want to put this. I'm going to have to trim it. This in this journal. But I need to do it now. It'll be because I want to be able to sew it. And it's easier to do it now before I sew the text block together. It's much easier to sew on a single sheet of paper than to try and finagle a whole book under your free arm of your sewing machine. All right, I'm going to go. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll get together soon. And for sure, I'll be posting on Instagram. No more reels, at least for the time being, until maybe Instagram will figure out why that is. I'm still researching it. I know I wasn't imagining it because I kept an eye on it, and it was going on. So anyhow, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon. Bye.